All right, guys, now that we've completed 5 days of this calc stuff lesson, I'm going to put together a little video here to help you review for your quiz tomorrow. There's two types of questions that you guys are going to be asked. One that's going to have to deal with scatter plots, and one that's going to have to deal with linear functions. Most of us have either the TI-83 or 84, so I'm going to do two problems with each type of calculator in this lesson. So make sure you're matching up your type of calculator with what's written in the top right corner of the screen. That way it's going to be the same for you. All right, so first up here, go ahead and take a second and pause this video and first read the problem. We're going to go ahead and start by creating the scatter plot. So the first thing I'm going to do is on my calculators, I'm going to go to Stat, and I'm going to Edit. And just to save a little bit of time, I already typed in my years to L1 and my units sold into L2. Since the units sold is numbers that are in the millions, you can see that under L2, these numbers say E, but when you highlight them, the whole number shows up at the bottom of the screen. Once everything's typed in, we want to go ahead and describe the type of correlation. So we're going to go back to Stat, and we're going to go over to the right to Calc, and we're going to go down to number 4 for linear regression. Now, with the TI-83 on this screen, we're going to have to type in L1, which is second and the number 1 button, and then L2, second and the number 2 button, and then a comma, and then we have to put Y1, so vars over to Y vars, function Y1. Once the screen looks exactly like this, we're going to go ahead and hit enter, and this screen tells us our first two answers. The first answer is going to be, what is our correlation? The correlation is from our R value, which is 0.969. So that means that since it's really, really close to 1, that's going to be a strong positive correlation. So I'm going to write that. I'm just going to write SP. You guys know that means strong positive. And that's because my R value is really close to 1. Okay. Next, it's write the equation for the line of best fit. So for this one, I'm not going to write this down, but the answer would be our A and B value plugged in. So the answer would be 1,808,333.33x minus our B value. That's a huge number. So you just write that entire thing. I would say round to 3 decimal places. So for the first one, it's already rounded to 3 decimals. The second one's a whole number, so you just write that down. Part D, if the trend continues approximately, how many iPhones are sold this September? So this September, this year, 2016, they give us the X value. So what we're going to do is, since they give us an X value, we're going to go second, and we're going to go to our table. And this allows us to type any number we want. Now, if you have a bunch of numbers already in X and Y1, you need to quickly go to second table set and change this third option to ask. Once that's set up, go back to table and then type in the number that they gave us. So they said this September, so 2016, and hit enter. And now our Y value is 1.37E7. which again is a really large number, and we always want to go over and highlight it, and our answer is going to be what's at the bottom of the screen. That's the entire answer. So our answer would be 13,725,000 units sold is our prediction. Now, Part E says, if the trend continues, in what year would you expect 19,150,000 iPhones to be sold? So they're giving us a Y value, so we're going to go to Y equals, and we're going to go down to Y2, and type in that number that they gave us, 19,150,000. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and hit zoom 9. And now I'm getting this weird graph. Now the reason why my points aren't showing up is because if I hit Y equals, we have to make sure that our scatter plot is turned on. So I'm going to go up and put it in bold. And now when I hit zoom 9, all my points will show up. Now, my goal is to see that second line, which I don't, so I need to zoom out. So zoom, number 3. Nothing changes until I hit enter here. So that backs me out, zooms me out, and now I see that second line. So once I can see it, I go second calc, down to option 5, intersect, and then I hit enter 3 times. So my answer is 2019, and it works out perfectly for us. So if the trend continues, we would expect there to be 19,150,000 iPhones sold in 2019, and that's our answer. Now I'm going to show the same exact problem using the TI-84. First thing is I want to make sure my scatter plot's turned on, so plot 1 should be in bold at the top, which it is. So now if it's not, go up to it with the arrows and hit enter. Now I want to type my information in, so I'm going to go stat and to edit. All my numbers are already typed in. I want to describe the correlation, so I'm going to go stat, over to calc, down to number 4. And on this screen, the only thing you guys have to do is put a Y1 next to store. So to do that, you're going to hit vars, over to the right to Y bars, function Y1, and go down and hit calculate. And this screen tells us that since our R value is 0.969, that is a strong positive. So our first answer for part B is strong positive. For part C, write the equation of the line of best fit, 3 decimal places. So all you have to do is take your A and B value and plug it in. You don't even have to round this one because our A value is already given with 3 decimals, and our B value is a whole number. So our answer would be Y equals 18 million, or I'm sorry, Y equals 1,808,333.33x minus the B value. And that would be the final answer for part C. For part D, they ask us to find how many iPhones would be sold this September. So by saying this September, they're telling us 2016. So they're giving us an X value. So we're going to go second, and we're going to go to our table, and we're going to type in 2016, since that's this September, 2016, and hit enter. And our answer is not 1.37E7. We got to go over to it and write down that entire number. So our answer for part D would be 13,725,000. Now for the last part, they say, when will we expect 19,150,000 iPhones to be sold? So they're giving us the units sold, which is the Y value. So we're going to go to Y equals. We're going to go down to Y2, and we're going to type that number in, 19,150,000. We're then going to graph that by hitting zoom 9. There's our points, there's our line of best fit, but we're not seeing that horizontal line, so we have to zoom and zoom out, number 3, and nothing happens until I hit enter. We're hoping we see that horizontal line on this screen, and we do. So now that we see it, we're going to go second, calc, option 5, and then we're going to go enter, enter, enter. So it says intersection, and it works out perfectly. We don't even have to think about rounding. It gives us 2019 exactly. So in 2019, that's when we would expect to sell that many. Okay, then on the test, you'll have one question that looks similar to this, where I give you the equation. So the first thing is we're going to go to Y equals, and we want to turn our scatter plot off. There's no need to have that on when we're given the equation of a line. So I unbold it, and I'm going to clear out my old information here in Y1 and Y2, and I'm going to type in my equation to Y1. Now, it's really important that when we type in a negative, we use this sign at the bottom. So negative 1.23x, and then minus 11.23. Okay, so we have that plugged in. Now, we are given 3 different x values over here in our table. So the first thing we want to do when we're given the x value, so I'm going to concentrate on the ones that I put a little dash next to. We're going to do those 3 first. I think they're the easier ones to get. So we're going to go right to our table, so second table. And this is from the last problem, so I'm going to delete that out. And I'm going to type in the numbers I'm given. So negative 2.3. 0 and 3.2. And those are my first three answers. So I'm going to go ahead and write those down. On the test, or on the quiz, I'll probably say round to 1 decimal place, so negative 8.4, negative 11.2, and negative 15.8. Sorry, it's hard to fit this in the boxes. Okay. Now, for the next two, we are given y values. And we're asked to find, oh, I wrote this in the wrong spot. This should be right here, negative 15.8. All right. We're asked to give the x values when we're missing y values. So this one takes a little bit more time. So we're going to go to y equals. We're going to go down and type in the number we're given. So in this one, we are given 2.4 is our first y value. So 2.4 gets plugged in. And then we want to hit zoom, and we want to hit option 6. We want to see where these two lines intersect. Right now, you can tell that they intersect somewhere over here, but you can't see it. So you must zoom out. So zoom 3, hit enter. And we should only have to do it once here. Okay, now we can see that they intersect somewhere up in there. So we're going to go second, calc, 5, enter, enter, enter. So our first answer is negative 11.1. All right, so we're going to go ahead and write that down. Negative 11.1. I'm just going to put an arrow that goes there. All right, next one, we're given a 10. So y equals, go down, type in a 10. Oh, type in 10. Go zoom 6. This one we're definitely going to have to zoom out, so zoom 3, enter. All right, now we see it. So second, calc, intersect, enter, enter, enter. Our next answer is negative 17.3. So negative 17.3. I'm going to again use an arrow here that goes here. And then the last one's negative 5. So we're going to go to y equals, clear out the 10, type in negative 5, zoom 6. And here we see it right away. So go ahead and hit second, calc, option 5, enter, enter, enter. Final answer there is negative 5.1. And we're done. Again, this is what the TI 83 and 84 look like. So for that last question on the quiz, just follow the steps that I showed here.